frame or a high knee shield, they're gonna pummel their foot from the armpit down the center line, and then they're gonna insert on the top side. So initially, once they get this half butter, just make sure when you're coming up, it's pummeling from here, inward down, and inserting an A-frame. From here, what I'm gonna look to do is I'm gonna take a palm facing up grip, and I'm gonna place it right on the half butter. From there, I'm gonna go on a cross lat frame, coming to the side like so. From there, I try to walk and get, I try to clear the bottom hook. So I try to walk, and somewhat clear the bottom hook, and I bring my knee up to the sky. From there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push down on the heel, and then I'm going to go in a back step motion. You're gonna have to work kind of with a slingshot, where A-Sling might be working with a grip on the leg and her foot on my knee. So as I push in, there's gonna be a little pushback, and I'm gonna kick out. You're gonna have to deal with the legs catching you, especially this one. So once I've cleared this one, as we go, I'm gonna do my best to get it as far this way, and then I'm gonna do a kicking motion. As it follows, I wanna push the opposite way, going in. Now from here, immediately, we're gonna be working off of limb extension. So A-Sling's gonna have the reaction of coming up with the underhook. So that's where we're gonna work from. So after this pass, I came in, I get a cross lat, I'm working here, I work out the clear, I kick, she pummels her elbow in here, and then she works up. From there, pause. I'm going to work off this extended limb. So I'm gonna place my hand on the mat, one, and I'm gonna try and drive into her, kind of low, just like I would be on that thumb post. So I'm leaning back to that side, trying to weight her underhook as much as possible. And then from there, I place my elbow over. And if I'm early, I return her to the mat. If I'm a little late, she's gonna end up in turtle. So this drill's essentially, when your partner goes on the under, I block the side, I lean heavy to the underhook side. As she drives, she comes up, get the elbow in, and if I can catch the arm, I'm gonna give her trouble getting the turtle. If she's a little earlier, I'm short, I'm just working from the tight waist into a spiral here on my grips. So we're just working off of that extended limb, elbow cropping from our guard pass. We got it? Awesome, 1, 2, 3. So we're doing this movement where initially we're in, and when I'm working, I get teed up. So as I'm getting teed up here, there's a disadvantage where I'm allowing A-Sling to essentially attack this leg. So I have to work fairly quickly where I'm clearing this, and as I go, A-Sling's gonna place her heel just on my calf. So as I start the motion of kicking this direction, it follows me. From there, I'm on my side, I take this away, and A-Sling works off the hip extension. She's gonna retract, 1, 2, and I'm gonna go into Kimura. From there, we're just gonna hit Sumi Gaeshi to our left-hand side. And then from there, I strip, 1, I block with my finger forward, 2, I post on my head, and then I get to this shin box position where I'm essentially pulling my heels in. She's gonna have a grip. I pull my heels into the mat. I go in my false grip just right over her wrist and make sure I go palm facing up, and then I bring my head forward for the grip break. So as my partner has a grip, I make sure I start driving. You okay?
Yeah, it's just really tight.
Okay.
I can.
Yeah, so as I'm driving forward, it's gonna apply tension and I'm getting it in. From there, I go palm facing up, and then I start to do the false grip to get the final break. But I'm really driving my head and my weight forward off of this Kimura. So this is one of my preferred ways to do Kimura because I get my whole body weight behind it rather than relying mainly on the pin. I'm relying on all 140 pounds of myself to get the break. So one more time. Coming in, there's a cross shoulder. We have some drive. From here, I generally try to act quickly where I'm bringing this in. I get to the cross shoulder, I post, I get followed. So here. From there, some pummels under, 1, 2, and we pummel to this like so. If we're on the cross lat and she's on the cross lat, the partner's just gonna pummel in to get it. From there, I look over my left-hand shoulder, and then I hit Sumi Gaeshi to that side. From there, if I need space, I hit a shrimping action where I clear my knee past the shoulder line, and then I elongate my arm, blocking, coming over, posting on my head to break the grip. It's looking at a good grip. To break the grip, I go to my shin box and I start sliding my weight forward. In addition, I try to get a false grip right at the wrist, and then I break. For the more advanced players, you guys can start playing with maybe bridges where your partner's moving around, so you're just practicing the skills of holding this pin. Occasionally, if the person's really big, they might be able to knock you over if your head is upright. So if you make a mistake, you get knocked over, it happens, you come back to the pin, you can finish from that side, but for right now, we're gonna come back, we post, we're here, if our head's forward, here, it's gonna be difficult for our partner to bridge us backwards. So we're just making sure we're keeping good head discipline and our weight is coming forward, ideally close to our knees. Just keeping that as tight as possible. Any questions? Awesome. 1, 2, 3. We're working. What's that? Should I be here?
On the other
You're
side.
good, you're good. So, same thing. We're initially here, we have forward leaning pressure. We have this in. We pummel, my partner blocks, I look to clear, I extend, and then from here, my partner's punching here. So I'm pummeling this in, and I'm blocking my face. Alfie's gonna scissor back, and I push it in, catching it. So as this comes up, I'm blocking, and then I'm catching at the end of the wrist, and I'm pummeling. So just one detail, and then I'm throwing Gaeshi. We're in T-Kimura here. To make this easier, it's nice to shrimp. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. You guys can go on a long block, or you can just keep this in, make sure you're right at the wrist, trying to reinforce that grip. From there, you post, shoulder, head, leg. Now, we're gonna give an option for some of the smaller players. So I will say, you know, if you're a bigger guy, you get here, you're gonna be able to break. So just walking forward, breaking through the grip. But we're gonna move slightly. We're gonna have 360 degrees of break here. So I'm gonna connect my elbow and my hip in, and I'm gonna get bridged over. From there, if I have my elbows connected to my hips, I should be able to break from this position. Even if Alfie has a strong grip here, I'm just using my false grip, I'm pressing in and then breaking out. From there, Alfie's gonna rotate, and then we're in the same position. I'm gonna step up, and I'm just gonna place it behind and break his elbow. Just placing the wrist behind the elbow there. So, building our follow through from our Kimura. Any questions here? We got it? Awesome.
Let's do it one more time, please.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, everything's the same. Driving, we step, we get caught with the bottom leg. As I'm coming in, I'm blocking here. Alfie retracts his bottom leg, and I push it in. From there, I'm stomping on the calf, one little nice detail just to ground it. Looking over the shoulder, throwing like so. More advanced players, I recommend just getting into your false grip and making sure you're tucking it in. If that's hard, you can go to a block. It's up to you. From there, you do a little shrimp, clear your knee, shoulder, head, and then you come over. Bigger guys, just get that head forward and get the break. Occasionally, you'll get knocked over. As long as your elbows are connected to your knees, you should be in a good position to pull up and pull back for the break. Once we have it behind the back, we're gonna go on a rotational defense. I point my toe, and I'm just pulling this up, shooting it in. Getting that wrist behind the elbow. Make sure when they're rolling over you, you're pointing and engaging your toes. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, all right. Let's go down half guard, half butter. All right, so we're working. We're gonna go with a different method. Posted, we have forward pressure. As I'm coming in, I look to do the same motion where I slide and A-sling advances to a cross lat grip. From here, what I'm gonna look to do is I'm going to bring my hand on the foot, and I'm gonna bring it overhead for that crowbar grip where I pull it through. Now from here, A-sling still has a grip on my knee where she still has good inside position with her butterfly hook. What she's gonna try and do is she's gonna try to pull me across and use her frame to redirect to Ashigarami. So her goal is to pull me this direction, pull through, and get a redirection to single leg X. So what I'm gonna try to do here, so as I'm coming here, as she grips, 1, 2, she's gonna look to pull me overhead. I'm abandoning overhead for our front head. Immediately, I'm gonna let go of the underhook. I'm gonna push on the shoulder. I'm gonna try to snag high risk position here. From here, she's gonna look to turn to her feet. 1, 2, she's gonna pummel at the hips, and she's gonna drive into me like so. I place her head on the mat. I find my elbow, and then I just close the rabbit hole, getting a strong finish. More time, we're in this position here. I need to quickly pummel and come in. The second I feel a load, I'm abandoning overhead. From here, I let go and I push as she's going. I'm trying to snag high wrists. If she doesn't step up, if she doesn't grab my leg here, we can still do the same thing when we pull this in. I pull my grip tight, I slide in, I try to get a connection to the hips, and I place her head on the mat. Any questions? All right, 1, 2, 3.